Welcome to the Bold Moves How Did You Know? Where Are They Now edition. In this series, I'm following up with former guests to hear where their bold moves had taken them since our last conversation. If there's anything I know about bold movers, it's they're always on the move, creating new opportunities for themselves in the direction of their goals and dreams. Today, I'm checking in with Emmagness Ruzvidzo. She appeared on episode number 3 of the Bold Moves How Did You Know podcast. I will link her past episode in the show notes in case you haven't had a chance to listen to M's incredible bold move story. She's the managing director of VACA Consulting, a brand and marketing consultancy, as well as an empowerment and personal branding coach. But she does so much more than that. So please go back and listen to her first episode. Today, I am so excited, Em, to welcome you back to this very special Where Are They Now edition. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic, and it's great to be catching up with you again, Christian. Thanks
Oh,
for having me.
I always love seeing you, talking to you. It's been 19 months since our last conversation. Not our last conversation, but our last interview, I should say. And at that time, you had just started your business, VACA Consulting. You were also on a mission through your empowerment coaching and personal branding to help people who are culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds navigate a challenging corporate system in Australia. So I would love to catch up and see how things have been going and what may have changed since we last spoke. Like I said at the beginning, I think us bold movers are always having our eye on what opportunities can we move towards next. So yeah, let's start there. What stands out about your bold moves journey that you're on this year?
This year for me was about clarity. So when I started the business, that was really born out of what I was going through. And I wanted to work on things that were meaningful to me. What I realized though is that I had a lot that was happening. And in December and January, I was working on really big projects, brand and marketing projects with really big organizations. And interesting enough, it was a Fortune 500 company in the US that I was working with in December and January. So the reason I had started the business was so that I can have the freedom to have holidays, if it's school holidays, for me to take a step back. But that didn't happen. So very quickly, I lost sight of why I had started because
Mhm.
everything was happening and I had so many projects I needed to work on and complete. So this year, I took a step back to work on what I wanted my business to be, who I wanted to be within
Mhm.
the business year, what projects I wanted to work on. And realizing this, I realized I love working on brands. So I am working on inclusive brand strategies. And the reason I am doing that is because I come across so many marketing programs that don't represent the diverse audience brands say they want to talk to. And I get it because you can have marketing teams that have blind spots, you can have leaders that have blind spots. So I help marketing teams and business leaders check and address those blind spots so that their marketing programs, their brand represent the diverse target audience they're after. So that's one aspect of what I've really defined and I'm working on. The second one is through VACA. So I've got a team that I'm working with, and through VACA, we focus on marketing as a service and SEO and website maintenance. So I splitting those two up had given me the freedom to really define what I want to be doing and to be more focused on really what I want to be working on and to not do 100 things at the same time.
Oh, that continuous check-in with yourself is always so important because when we take the bold moves, we're we're basing it on the information we have at the time. And then when we make the
Mhm.
move, there's always something new that we learn about ourselves. And we're like, is this now the direction I want to be going in? What, it's another check in. What do I like? What do I want? I've experienced that with my business as well this year.
Mhm.
So I always feel like we're so in sync as we're going through our business journey together. I believe we launched within like a month or two of each other. And it's so
Yes.
funny how we kind of do follow the same trajectory over the last 19 months. Have there been any unexpected, and maybe you've talked about this a little bit, but unexpected challenges or successes that have shaped your path and any insights they've brought over the last year and a half?
I don't know. So I think mostly what I was expecting in my first year was I was going to work on projects. What I wasn't expecting was that everything was going to blow up so quickly, like in a good way. I got extremely busy within a really short time frame and risked burning out.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize, because this is, first year of business, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot I didn't know. And what I didn't do very effectively was create programs that would enable businesses to keep working with me. So
Mm,
yes, so my business structure was really getting into a business. So it is head of marketing as a service, get in the business, work with them for 6 months, and then leave. So
yeah.
train the team, help them hire someone new, and then leave the business.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, anyone can tell you this is not the most effective way of doing business. So a huge lesson I learned was while I've got head of marketing as a service, which was extremely popular, particularly with
Mm,
fintech or fintech companies, I needed to have a structure to keep working with them,
yeah.
which is where I then introduced the marketing as a service. That
Mm,
while I will step away, we will still service you SEO on your website, like just a package that would work for that business. So that was a huge lesson for me. Got
yeah.
extremely busy and then finished projects with this client. Then it was, now what? Like,
Yeah. I know, right? And then you're back in the boat of a new business and trying to drum up the pipeline, which can be exhausting. So,
exactly. Absolutely. And those were, I faced two challenges that I can say are at the forefront of any challenge I faced. The first one was exactly what you've mentioned, which is business development. Having worked in corporate for 18 years and
right.
being a senior leader in everything brand and marketing, never had to. I didn't rely on business development to put to put food on the table, if you
Yes.
put it that way.
Yeah. Work is
Because
tough.
exactly the work was always there. The
Yeah.
work was always there. Now, as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
you have to look for the work. You have to
That's
deliberately, go out, be very deliberate about showing up and explaining to people what you do. And at times, I think because it's very clear to me what I do, I'm always surprised when people don't understand what I
yeah.
do or they question what I
Yeah.
do. I'll give you an example. I attended an event and there's there's always this challenge where you get unsolicited advice.
Okay.
And someone says to me, "Oh, but I'd introduce myself as a brand and marketing strategist." And someone questioned why I do brand and marketing because everyone seems to be doing it. And this was interesting for me. And she said, "Oh, my friends just wake up and decide they're now a brand consultant." So
Wow. Well, you
I
probably don't want to
explained
work with
to her,
somebody who woke up and decided to be that.
exactly.
Like, yeah.
And I realized that's the perception she has of, brand and marketing strategists or consultants that we
Yeah.
just wake up and decide that's what we're doing. And I explained to her that, oh, I've got years of experience and I've got the qualifications to actually pick me up saying, this is
Absolutely.
what I do. Um, And then she said, oh, but maybe you need to, create a team because no one would really trust working with an individual. And again, unsolicited advice, right? So I would say, there's two things for anyone who's running a business to really watch out for. Unsolicited advice, like
Mm,
just be prepared that there will be people that want to tell you what to do without understanding where in
yes.
your journey you are, what you've built,
Mm,
where you're going, and it really can bring
yes.
you down.
Yes.
And in that moment, it's important to remind yourself that, you know what, they actually don't know your business or who you are. So how do you move forward? Just breathe, remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing, and package that
Yeah.
advice they've given you, which is unsolicited, and just put it in the bin. With all respect, just say thank you very much, but put it in the trash and move on.
Yeah. I always say when that happens to me, I'm like, okay, at this point in my career, I'm gonna filter that advice first and
Mm.
see how it feels on me. Because I know, if the feedback is critical for the point of just being critical, or if it's actually going to help me, I know which is which. So
Yes.
before I try to react to it, I try to filter it through my lens of experience. And then I'll take the constructive feedback, but then I'll just put the other feedback aside and be like, sorry, you don't get it. You don't get it. I definitely wanted to keep these episodes a little bit shorter because they are quick check ins, but I have two more questions for you. The first one is, I see you doing all this amazing speaking through some of the organizations that you work with and partner with. How has that journey been going for you? Tell me more about your speaker journey over the last year.
I've absolutely loved it. So when we spoke initially on the podcast, I said my passion is to help people, particularly migrants, to build their personal brand so that they can attract the right opportunities that align with their careers and their
Right.
experience based on the journey that I walked. And since then, I developed a framework to help people really develop a solid personal brand, and I've developed online courses as well to
Mm.
help people just self-paced, because some people do prefer to, but it's self-paced. And through that, I ended up partnering with quite a few organizations to then deliver speaking engagements. And these are it's mainly for women or
Yeah.
students, graduates, migrants, and all my speaking
Ah,
engagements are around personal branding and what it can do for your career or for your business if you're a business owner. And the other one that I've been talking a lot about is inclusive leadership, because inclusive
yes.
leadership can really generate innovative ideas, a psychologically safe environment for everyone, for a culturally diverse team. So those are the things that I've been doing a lot of, and I've absolutely loved them. And just seeing the work that I do positively impact people. That's
Yeah.
what I'm here for. That's, I believe, that is the purpose that we all have, that our work just changes, even if it changes one
Yeah.
person in the audience at a time.
Oh,
But
I love that. I can sense and feel from you how your well-being lit up when I asked that question. And I think that's what doing things from our authentic place does manifest for us, is creates a huge energy lift where we're excited to share with the world what we feel like our natural gift is or the message we have to share. So I'm so, so happy for you that you've gotten so many great opportunities this year to do that. And I know anything I know, you're gonna keep doing more. Um, so last time on the show, I asked all of my guests, what do you wish you know today about being bold that you wish you had known earlier on? And you talked about, I'm not going to put you on the spot here, Em, but you talked about you wish you knew that other people's opinions are not a reflection of who you are. You wish that you never shrunk your capabilities and what you brought to the table to make other people more comfortable, was such amazing advice. I'm curious to know, now that you've been on your next bold move chapter for the last year and a half, Is there anything else that you know about being bold today that you're going to carry with you over the next 24 months?
Kristen, I would say it's the same. It's the same. And being on this journey of entrepreneurship, really being careful about who I am,
Yeah.
knowing my values, knowing my why. Knowing my why has been a game changer because each time I get that unsolicited advice or
Yes.
someone says something negative or there's an opinion I don't quite align with, I always go back to my core, which is my why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the impact that I want to make? So self discovery for me has been a game changer in defining and truly helping me stay firmly rooted in what I want to do and also being flexible. So being bold is about being flexible as well and knowing that I am allowed to change. I'm allowed to say, you know what? This is actually not working for me. I need
Mhm.
to pivot and do something different and being extremely comfortable doing that because at the end of the day, as long as I stay rooted in my why, I can literally branch into anything that aligns with my values.
Oh, I love it. You're always such a wealth of information. So wise, Em. It's been so good reconnecting with you and sharing your where are they now story with these listeners. I want to encourage everybody to check out the first episode where I interviewed Em about her bold move story in detail. It's in episode 3. I'll link it in the show notes. I hope you enjoyed this special Where Are They Now episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, Em.
Thank you, Kristen, for having me.